From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Chris Carl.
Among Delaware's top stories for Thursday, January 11th, admitting mistakes have been made, President Bush wants to send more troops to Iraq. Meantime, Senator Biden opens hearings on the war, and hundreds of job cuts are coming. Here are the details. In a speech to the nation last night, President Bush, announcing a buildup of more than 21,000 troops in Iraq, says it was a mistake not to have done so earlier. And he says even if his new strategy works, it could be another bloody year. The plan envisions Iraqi forces taking the lead in securing Baghdad.
Only Iraqis can end the sectarian violence and secure their people. And their government has put forward an aggressive plan to do it. Our past efforts to secure Baghdad failed for two principal reasons. There were not enough Iraqi and American troops to secure neighborhoods that had been cleared of terrorists and insurgents, and there were too many restrictions on the troops we did have. Our military commanders reviewed the new Iraqi plan to ensure that it addressed these mistakes. They report that it does. They also report that this plan can work.
Senator Carper says he has serious reservations about the plan, believing a troop increase will do little to cut the violence. Congressman Castle believes any increase in troops has to be accompanied by a diplomatic offensive to engage Iraq's neighbors, and the ultimate goal should be to bring the troops home as soon as possible. Iraq was the topic of hearings which started yesterday on Capitol Hill, being held by Senator Biden's Senate Foreign Relations Committee. WDEL's Peter MacArthur reports.
The session is titled Where We Are, the Current Situation in Iraq, and the hearings will feature testimony from military and political experts, scholars, and authors. What they won't do?
They are not about an effort to revisit the past, point fingers, or place blame on how we got to where we are. The American people spoke very loudly this past November. They know that we're in a significant mess in Iraq. But instead of arguing how we got into that mess, they want us to be proactive and be part of the solution. They expect us to help America get out of the mess we're in, not talk about how we got there.
Thursday and Friday, Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice and Defense Secretary Robert Gates will appear before the committee. I'm Peter MacArthur, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Avon plans to close its Newark distribution center by 2009, eliminating hundreds of jobs. The company will close the Newark site and one in Glenview, Illinois, resulting in a total of 620 job cuts. Company officials have been unavailable to comment to WDEL News, but in a press release obtained through Avon.com, officials said the decision to close Newark was difficult. They hope the fact that it won't close until 2009 will make it easier for the employees to find new jobs. The move is part of a plan by Avon to restructure its U.S. distribution operations, improve efficiency, and save money. The company projects they'll save between $35 to $45 million. Chris Carl, 1150 AM, WDEL. The State House Ethics Committee will investigate the conduct of Republican Representative John Atkins of Millsboro. That story from WDEL legislative correspondent Carl Konevsky in Dover.
Atkins sent a letter to Committee Chair Wayne Smith asking for the review of his conduct, including the use of his legislative identification card after being stopped under suspicion of driving under the influence back in October. It's expected the investigation will take place before the General Assembly breaks at the end of the month, but Atkins says he doesn't know for sure.
I'm hoping, after 3 months of this, the sooner the better. Again, Heather and I have certainly put this behind us, and we're looking for closure in this matter so that I can get back to work, doing the work of the people of the 41st District that sent me here to do.
Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Meantime, House Republicans want to discuss open government, but want to do it behind closed doors.
As part of an aggressive agenda to address important issues during the 9 legislative days of January, House Republicans say they'll form an internal working group to discuss open procedures within the General Assembly, but the group won't meet in public until a bill is ready.
When legislation is proposed, such as is true with any legislation, that will be something that will run through a committee process, and those will, of course, be open to the public and available for comment at any point during the process.
House Majority Leader Wayne Smith says the public trust in lawmakers is important to him and his colleagues.
FOIA is an issue. I think the public needs to have a clear understanding that the General Assembly operates as an open body and a productive body in conducting the people's business. We are forming a working group to look at FOIA issues to make sure that public confidence is raised in terms of our internal workings.
Also included in the package is legislation changing the way lawmakers and appointed officials in the state get pay raises. Under current law, pay raises recommended for high-ranking officials by the Delaware Compensation Commission take effect automatically unless voted down by the General Assembly. If passed, the new legislation changes the Compensation Commission to the Delaware Salary Survey Commission and makes an important change with regard to its report.
Compensation will not be raised under this process. It will be advisory only, and any compensation would be raised during the normal budget process or separate legislative action. It would be expected, as we've done sometimes in the past, that legislative and other appointed salaries would increase basically at the same rate that state employee raises are increased during the budget process.
Republicans also hope to mandate the state's budget and bond bill be introduced at least 3 days before the end of each legislative session and repeal the ban on yard waste at Cherry Island landfill before the end of the month.
Sounding the all clear at the state office building in Wilmington. WDEL News continues in a moment.
Looking to gain an edge in the technology or design field? Wilmington College's Division of Information Technology and Advanced Communications offers state-of-the-art facilities equipped with the latest tools. Achieve balance, achieve success.
A city man is behind bars facing charges of shooting 2 people last November. 30-year-old Alfred Lewis led police on a high-speed chase before being arrested. Police had to use a taser to subdue him. Lewis is charged with shooting a teen November 3rd at 8th and Madison and shooting a man in his mid-30s the next day on Washington Street. Wilmington police say an elderly man who died when he drove into a utility pole Tuesday had a medical problem just before the accident. The 75-year-old man crashed into the pole at Maple and South Union Streets. City investigators haven't specified what the medical condition was that happened just before the crash, and his name hasn't been released. State, city, and community leaders want to make sure Delawareans get everything they're entitled to at tax time. WDEL's Carl Konevsky reports.
State Treasurer Jack Markell joined Wilmington Mayor Jim Baker in kicking off this year's Earned Income Tax Credit Campaign, a program that over the past 6 years has made a big difference for people on tight budgets.
If you earn up to about $38,000 a year, you can get back up to about $4,500. The amount of money you get back depends upon how many kids you have and how much you earn. And this can really change somebody's life.
The Nehemiah Gateway Community Development Corporation will again coordinate the project, and Executive Director Mary DuPont says in addition to helping people get the credit and file their returns, volunteers will provide even more this year.
Free merged credit reports with the score and also screening for state benefits, because together all of these services add up to putting more money in people's pockets and to getting ahead financially.
More than 10,000 Delaware taxpayers took advantage of the free tax preparation services offered last year. I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Well, it was the worst loss of the season for the Blue Hens last night. WDEL Sports and your Delaware AccuWeather forecast coming up.
You could spend your money at the gas pump, or you could spend it on those sexy pumps at your favorite store. Let DART do the driving. Travel smart. Choose DART.
In WDEL Sports, Delaware's depleted basketball squad was pounded by Old Dominion 83-48 last night. Delaware has dropped 5 in a row and fell to 0-5 in the conference play for the second straight year. The New York Knicks jumped out to a 19-point halftime lead en route to a 106-99 win over the Sixers. The Sixers have now lost 4 straight. Meantime, the team has agreed to buy out the final year and a half of Chris Webber's contract. Webber was due nearly $21 million this season and $22 next year. He averaged 8 points in just 18 games this season. He's missed 11 of the last 14 due to injury. And the girls' cross-country team at Tatnall has been named Delaware's top team for 2006 by the Delaware Sports Writers and Broadcasters Association. Tatnall won the 2006 State Division II High School Cross-Country Championship and placed 12th out of 20 schools at the Nike Team Nationals held in Oregon. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast: mostly sunny today, a high 42. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 31. Increasing clouds through the day tomorrow, maybe a late-day shower with a high of 50. Get news updates throughout the day. Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour on 1150 a.m. WDEL, or anytime right here at WDEL.com, including news video from Delaware and around the world from WDEL and the Associated Press. I'm Chris Carl. Thanks for watching.